Got Your Eers On is brought to you by Tactical Legion Knives. Live from the campus of Talk Radio, under the direction of Guido, Scoot, and Johnson, it's the pride of podcasting. It's Got Your Eers On.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Got Your Eers On. I'm Guido, along with Scoot.
Yo!
And Johnson.
Special guest episode.
Yeah, segment 2 is going to be awesome. We have our very first ever guest on a Bluff the Fluffs.
We have a guest fluff.
We do have a guest fluff, and it's a competitor. How do you feel about that? A competitor? We're like people who compete against us for podcast listens?
I mean, I feel like we're a family.
We are a family. That is true.
I mean,
we're all fighting for the same 85 people to download us a week.
No, we're all fighting for the same group of people's time.
No, it's great. So you should listen to it. We have an awesome guest in segment 2 for Bluff the Fluffs,
yes,
which is an interesting topic for this week. But guys, a lot kind of going on here. A lot of kind of to kind of go down and check out on. Brandon Knapper has left WVU and he's heading to Eastern Kentucky.
Yes.
And to which I say, Eastern Kentucky?
Well, I think I first heard of maybe a link from Scoot of why he may have gone to Eastern Kentucky. Scoot, I think there's a coach connection there, right?
There is. A coach, I don't know if he was the head coach at Hargrave Military Academy, which is where Brandon Knapper did his 5th year of high school. He went, if you remember, he didn't go straight from South Charleston to WVU. He went to Hargrave kind of as a prep season to get ready for WVU. And he actually did really well in that prep season. And one of the coaches there is now a coach at Eastern Kentucky, home of the Colonels.
Okay, yes.
The Colonels?
The Colonels.
Yes, the Colonels.
How about Colonels? We'll go with Colonels. The home of the Colonels.
Okay. You could say it that way.
You mean the right way. That's what you're doing.
Your highfalutin correct
Your
way.
highfalutin correct way of saying it.
So he'll be a colonel starting next year. I think he'll probably have to sit out a year, though. I do believe.
Yeah. Do we know how that works? Does he have to sit, or can he?
Because he's not a grad transfer, so he would have to sit. Unless he graduated.
I'm assuming he has to sit.
Plus the decision that he made to start wearing headbands toward the end of the season has to be a factor in all of that.
You feel like that factors in?
I think it does. I mean, you got to question a guy choosing so late in the season to just start wearing the headband.
I feel like, Scoot, you're a little upset by this because now, I mean, potentially there's no headband wearers next year. Are we going to be
headbandless?
Up until Brandon was wearing them, you could argue that maybe Chase Harler was a headband guy. At one point, he was trying to be a headband.
Didn't Chase start as a headband guy?
Yeah, I think he tried to be a headband guy. He was something in the same vein as a Nate Adrian.
Like a Nate Adrian, you're right.
Yeah.
So it was the headband to control the hair?
He did.
Somebody
said, "Listen, Chase, this hair idea is not a good one. Please trim it up." That probably was Coach Huggins.
Well, I mean, I like this for Brandon Knapper. I mean, I think we've already been talking, and I want to talk about it. You know, maybe we can talk about that in a different show. But this whole idea about how many players on this team this year were averaging significant minutes. It's interesting to me if we are going to try to tighten that bench up a little bit, then you would think there would be casualties like this because there's just not enough playing time to go around.
Well, and I think it's hard on this team, unless you're super bought in to WVU basketball and Bob Huggins. Like, I think it's hard when you're looking at a team and you're all sharing, so many minutes and like your time. It's just weird. It's not like you're never going to be a star. Like that's why, especially under, the way Huggins is coaching now later in his career, like it's hard for him to produce stars because a lot of these guys are having to share minutes. So it's not like they're getting 30 minutes a game. They're all averaging 15,
I think of it too. it's the ball players' mentality that they feel they deserve more than what they're getting. Almost every every athlete will tell you that they feel they should be on the field, the court, the floor, whatever the surface is, the ice, more than probably what they're getting. Nobody's ever going to say that I'm playing the appropriate amount of minutes. And I'm sure he falls into I feel like I was getting slighted. The way I look at it, though, and this is maybe a harsh criticism, is when you're out there, are you making the most of your opportunity to make it? I always tell players that I've coached, make it tough on me to not play you. So make it so that I can't take you out of the game. I don't know that he ever did that.
Coach Scoot always weighing in. Coach Scoot's back.
I don't know that he ever. He never gave me a reason to say, "Man, what are we doing without Brandon Knapper on the floor?"
Yeah, and I think too that we have a crowded guard position right now anyway next year, looking at next season, don't you think? I mean, we have a lot of people to try to rotate through the guard positions, so I'm not shocked. I kind of like it for him. I mean, I hate to lose a West Virginia guy. I like it when we have, in-state guys on the team that contribute, so I hate it for that reason. I don't know, Guido, I feel like you're maybe there with me too on that, but I like it for him. I think he can go there and probably play significant minutes now.
What conference are the Colonels in?
That's a good question.
I would think that they're in the Ohio Valley Conference isn't around anymore, is it? Oh, it is still around, the Ohio Valley Conference. So there you go. Okay. The OVC. That's Huggins' old. That's got Akron used to be Akron in the OVC, and you go back to the old days of when Bob Huggins used to coach. So there you go. Akron's not in the OVC anymore, but it's the Ohio Valley Conference. So you got other powerhouses. Belmont's in there. Austin P. Which kind of P is it? We don't know, but it's an Austin P. So that's what you're looking at right there. So guys, other things though. Speaking of moving on potentially, Oscar is since we've last talked, come out and said he's testing the waters. He put out a tweet that was kind of like a goodbye, but not really a goodbye. So Hugs says he's not worried about it. Hugs is like, Oscar's coming back. This is just him, doing the SAGs thing and then coming back. But I don't know. Where are you at on this, Johnson?
Well, I think what you started to say, the way he put the tweet out made me immediately get, my unreasonable doubt, if you will, kicked in immediately. It just kicked in immediately when I saw the tweet, because this was my fear, was just, we would only get this glimpse, this short time with Oscar. So I super hope that's not the case. Now, I think with the rule change, though, he can go pretty deep toward getting a full evaluation, right? And then still come back. That's my only thing I'm hanging on to, I guess.
Scoot and I were actually talking about this earlier today. I'm not even sure how this works now, because the NBA draft isn't going to be until like August, if then. I'm not sure how this all timeline wise works out.
In the past, they would have a combine. They would have personal face-to-face interviews. Scouts would write up a report. Hey, Oscar, you need to shoot more three-pointers. You need to play with your back less to the basket. They would give you kind of all the things that you need to do differently. With the coronavirus going on, that's not going to happen. So you're going to get analysis based on previous game tape. And, I love Oscar, but there were games where Oscar did not do much as far as on the stat line. He was in foul trouble, or, he had a couple of games where he scored under 10 points. And so I don't know that the draft analysis is going to be super favorable for him.
Right.
And I don't know how beneficial it'll be this year as opposed to other years, because they're going to be just looking at game tape. They're not going to be looking at him right now. What does he bring? They're going to be looking at what was he bringing 6 months ago.
And here's the thing, like, I think if you look at his game tape from this past season, it's kind of mishmashy, mix-up, Mushington craziness. It's like there were games where he looked NBA-esque, and there were games where he looked like he should be, still playing at prep school.
Well, you have highlight tapes like at Kansas where he dominated everyone on the court. And then, you have a couple other games where you forget he was in the game. Now, keep in mind, too, most games, how many times did we remark that, Oscar's got a double-double. It doesn't even feel like he's working that hard,
Especially
so I think
early in the season.
I think you forget that, too. I mean, he's so talented. But for this, I think the wild card is just how late it can go. I think it could already go into the June time period, and now with the craziness that we're living in right now, I think it goes way deeper than that even.
I definitely think it goes deeper
and that
than
might be what keeps people nervous.
Right. I think that you're looking at, because in the current climate, this would be something that by I think mid to late May would be sussed out, and we would know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
I'm with you. Like I see this lasting until June, July. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're still thinking about this in the middle of July.
Yeah, toward late summer. But good for him. I mean, who wouldn't check that out and get that evaluation in his situation? I just, from a selfish WVU fan perspective, I would love to see him back with Derek Culver under the bucket for us next season.
Switching gears a little bit here, talking about football now. How about the fact that Coach Brown, he's got the Zoom machine up and running. He's got things happening. He just had Hammond Russell, who is a 3-star defensive end from Dublin, Ohio, commit. And my favorite part about the whole thing is the reason why Hammond Russell said he wanted to come to WVU, which was he's a big fan of Tavon Austin, a defensive end that is a big fan of a running back, I'm going to that school because Tavon went to that school.
How cool
that's
is
how
that?
Scoot. That's how Scoot would select a college to go to. I think.
Well, after color of uniforms, Scoot would go with a reason like that.
I need to have some uniform options.
Right.
Unrelated and totally unrealistic. For the longest time, I was confusing this guy with Darrell Hammond from Saturday Night Live fame.
Wrong. I don't think Darrell Hammond would be a good defensive end.
Yeah, I don't know how he would be on the defensive end.
Yeah, I believe he played Colonel Sanders at one point.
I think he did. Yes. I think you're right, Scoot.
Well, this guy, Hammond Russell.
You'll never think of him the same now.
No, I won't. I'll be thinking of that the whole time. But anyways, he took WVU over schools like Indiana, Michigan State, Kentucky, Pitt, Georgia Tech, Purdue, Cincinnati. So, he had a lot of choices, a lot of places that he was looking at going to. He also is the second player that WVU recruited last week, which Scoot, you got to be excited about this. Will Crowder is coming to WVU.
I'm most excited.
This could be fun.
I'm most excited because of his nickname.
Yes.
The Goose is going to get loose.
The Goose.
The Goose is going to get loose in that air raid. That French air raid. Woo, baby.
Oh, Le Goose.
Le Goose.
Gerard Parker is going to be cooking up some goose for you. We're going to cook some goose for you. Do you like the goose? We make you some goose.
Le Goose will be doing the cooking.
Yeah, so Crowder is going to be coming. Another quarterback option in there. Obviously, I think he'll probably. Usually, when you see these freshman quarterbacks come in, it's a red shirt, straight to the red shirt for him. But a couple years, man, that could be fun.
Well, I think the reason this caught my attention, though, Guido, is because in the middle of all this quarantine, I haven't even left my house. I'm having groceries delivered and placed on my front porch. I wipe everything down out of a quarantine protocol. And then I'm just scrolling through Twitter and Neil Brown is getting football commitments. I'm just like, man, I'm impressed. I mean, I realize these conversations are going on all the time, but I just didn't expect to be reading about that right now. So hats off to Coach Brown and hats off to the staff. I'm sure it's a lot of people involved in all those discussions, but I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, pretty good. So he's He's a young, savvy, hip guy, as we know from his dancing abilities. I think Coach Brown is
Sure.
is out there, definitely connecting, in whatever way he can right now. Huggins, on the other hand, in his press conference today with the media over Zoom, talked about how he doesn't know how to turn the computer on, and I think his daughter came in and turned it on for him.
He also said that he likes to watch. He watched about 7 or 8 episodes of Naked and Afraid yesterday.
I saw that. I question Huggins'
It's
television.
a good show. It's a good show.
I mean, I don't know what to do with that.
I kind of wanted him to say that he was watching like old basketball games or something.
No, I like it. I like it.
No.
I like Hugs in survival mode. Now, I will tell you this.
You don't want to see Huggins on Naked and Afraid.
I do not want to see Bob Huggins in an episode of Naked and Afraid.
Oh man, that would be
no offense, Coach Huggins. That is not something I would sign up to watch.
Well, Coach Huggins doesn't want to see you on there either.
Who would be? Because isn't it Naked and Afraid? Like there's 2 people there, right?
Yeah.
It's like they're partners.
I think so.
Who's Coach Huggins' partner on Naked and Afraid?
Well, usually it's a woman, so that gets a little dicey there. Who? I don't know. I don't even want to. I don't even know if I want to venture a guess at this.
Yeah, might get a little bad quick. Might go a little south.
I'm gonna take a hard pass on that one, Johnson.
No, don't root me into
Johnson's
this.
out too.
You're the one that brought this up. Don't root me into it.
No, all right, we'll skip it. We won't throw any. I was just thinking, what if it wasn't a woman and it was
like Billy Hahn?
No, if it was like 2 dudes. And it was Coach Huggins and President Gee were out there on Naked and Afraid together.
That'd be interesting.
I feel like that's an interesting episode of Naked and Afraid.
I feel that Gordon Gee would be very intelligent as far as what to use and what not to use.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think Huggins would have to be the...
I can see that.
No disrespect to President Gee, but I think Huggins would have to be kind of like the provider. He would be the hunter,
the muscle.
Yeah.
The brawn to Gee's brain. Yeah. All right. Other news, guys. This is an interesting one. So apparently, the coordinator of officials for the NCAA football, has come out and said that he wants in 2020. He wants to try to encourage players not to flop as much at the end of games.
Yes. We're going to work with, the quote is, we're going to work with all coaches and maybe players to where they see this video and recognize we're looking at this very closely. So in other words, saying, hey, we see you sneaking these injuries in and we're not having any more of this stuff. So it's kind of such a weird conversation to me. It's sort of like, we know you're breaking the rule and we're going to start to tell you, hey, stop doing this rule breaking stuff.
Now, I'll tell you this. The best person that they can get for an official to kind of regulate this stuff would be my wife. She does not put up with any. If I tell her any kind of injury I've got, she's not believing any of it. Like, there's never a chance she believes anything. I could have like one arm and go put the other arm back on your shoulder. What's wrong with you? You're lying.
You're fine.
She's like, Scooty, go put the washing into the dryer. And what do you usually say? You're like, oh,
I got a bad arm.
That biceps bothered me a little
I think
bit.
I pulled a hammy on the way through the kitchen or something.
She would that's what they need. They need to bring her in as a clinician for the referees.
Do you ever do that, Scoot? Are you ever like on the way to the washer or dryer and you just sort of flop? You like flop in the hallway. You're like, I can't get there. I can't get there.
Well, if you knew my wife, you would know that would be worthless to do, because it doesn't matter.
Now, I kind of see where they're coming from on this, but how? I mean, aside from the extremely obvious ones, how is this going to be policed, Johnson? Like, how are they
you're exactly right. I have the same question. How do you enforce this, and how do you not look awful later if you decide, in the moment you judge it as a fake?
How do you know that my calf is not cramping?
And then later it comes back like someone was seriously injured. So I agree. I mean, I think the reason that it is the way it is now is because people tend to err on the side of, just assuming well, we need to take this seriously. What if someone is injured? So I totally agree. I don't know how you police this.
I was going to say, and Scoot kind of was starting to bring it up there. 90% of the ones that you see are the linemen at the end of the game cramping up, laying on the field, and then you see them come in 2 plays later, and you're like, I'm not so sure that was an issue. But then you run into the problem where this is still college. These kids aren't getting paid to put their bodies on the line per se. And, now you're telling a kid if he is or is not hurt, and how do you know, and what kind of liability do you have with that?
Well, I think it's more to what you said, though, at the top there, Guido. It's like there are some that are just so, like, guys looking at the sideline, guys looking at the sideline, guys looking at the sideline, plays now coming in, and suddenly he flops down. I think that's what this, to give them the benefit of the doubt, that's what this article's talking about.
Well, I was going to say, in a lot of other sports, basketball tries to dissuade flopping. Sports Center does the night of the floppera, and they do different acts of flopping. Right. But soccer is well known for flopping.
Right.
Football, typically, you don't see it as much, right? So you see guys maybe grabbing a leg or feeling an injury or something on their own. It's usually not from somebody walking by them, or in the other sports there tends to be some sort of cause to the flop. In football, a lot of times you don't see the cause to the flop, you just see the guy laying on, and it could be something as simple as you're in a scrum or a gang tackle, and you happen to be at the bottom, somebody steps on your hand or something and it hurts. I mean, how do you know that happened or didn't happen? So I don't think it's going to be easy to really determine whether or not it's a flop or not. You don't see the guy like where somebody walks by and he like has the Keith Hernandez spitting in Kramer's eye kind of reaction where he falls over backward like a Zapruder film.
Well, and I think you're right, Scoot, in the sense of like there are guys who are legitimately getting hurt, but I think what Johnson was saying is that you've got to watch, how much of it is a coached injury, and that's where I think they have to look at it from like a replay.
And really affecting, hijacking like game flow and possession and stuff like that.
Now, Scoot, you're famously a one of the Ohio Valley's strongest, now retired, but famously one of the Ohio Valley's strongest interscholastic soccer coaches. Did you promote? Did you teach some flopping tactics while coaching?
No, be honest. Be honest.
Soccer is well known for being probably the most flopped sport there
Floppiest.
is.
No,
it is.
I never promoted. In certain instances,
you never gave Jimmy the wink, like
no.
catch a cramp.
And I'll be honest, I had a couple of players who, because they watched a lot of the pro game, would try to get the benefit of the doubt with some calls like that.
Maybe emulate some floppage.
There'd be some fairly strong conversations from me to the player saying, "Hey, we're not going to do that. We don't. That's not how we play. Maybe other teams do it. And we did see some of that, but we weren't going to do that." Now, there are some gamesmanship type things that you can do to change the pace of a game, whether that be, it's in soccer, it's a dead ball. Maybe you're not rushing to go get the ball for a throw in, or maybe you're taking your sweet time on a corner kick. In soccer, because there's no stoppage of time per se, unless it's an injury. Putting a substitute in, because there's unlimited substitutions at the high school level. That is a little tactic that a coach can do to kind of run clock while you're up, right? So you start bringing in a conveyor belt of substitutes. And depending on the team I was playing, I was guilty of some of that.
I think it's something that you'll see. I mean, you've seen it now across most sports where they're trying to start to control. It seems like it's gotten bad over the last 10 years or so. And a lot of these, not only in college, but professional sports, you've seen them try to control it a little bit more in the NFL and the NBA. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, see where this goes.
Well, listen, guys, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with an episode of Bluff the Fluffs, and we have a great guest from the show Unreasonable Doubt. Josh Witt joins us, so don't go anywhere. Stay right here. You're listening to Got Your Eers On. Vortec Knives is a West Virginia-owned and operated company specializing in high-quality steel, fast-opening, everyday carrying knives. If you go to vortechknives.com today and use the code GYEO, you get a 25% discount on your entire order. That's Vortech, VORTEK knives.com, a West Virginia owned and operated company specializing in fast opening, high quality, everyday carry knives. Vortec Knives. All right, welcome back to Got Your Eers On. Guido along with Scoot and Johnson. Don't forget, check us out online at Got Your Eers on Instagram and the Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook. Just go up to the search bar and type in Got Your Eers On. And then check out our website, gotyourearson.com. A great place to find out information about us, right, Johnson?
Yeah, and if you're unsure, you can always hit the subscribe page on the site. It'll have all those social networks listed. And then, Guido, don't forget the hotline bling. People can call in and leave us a message. Try to make us laugh.
You got to call 304-518-GYEO. That's 304-518
GYEO hotline. I haven't sang that in a while.
You haven't sang that in a while. So, guys, we're super excited. We have a guest with us on our show for this segment this week. I mean, how crazy. Awesome guest. We have Josh Witt from Unreasonable Doubt. Not unnecessary doubt. Not unnecessary
proposition.
Word. Yeah. Josh, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Really excited to be here.
This will be fun. We appreciate it. We love your podcast. Definitely check it out. If you haven't, folks, you can find it on all of the podcast platforms, Unreasonable Doubt. First question I have for you, Josh, just a quick question off the top. I don't know if you heard, was Johnson right? Is the premise of the name of your show, like what Johnson said? I don't know if you heard that episode where Johnson was like, because we're West Virginia fans, so we always have Unreasonable Doubt. Is that where the name came from?
It fits. So Johnson is right in that it fits the mantra of a WVU fan, right? Like things are going great. You're up 20 with 2 minutes left. What's there to doubt, And yet you doubt. And that's a WVU fan. Is. And then also that fits my personality because I have self-esteem issues. And so it's like, all right, I doubt everything and it's unreasonable. And also I enjoy rap music, Jay-Z's album, Reasonable Doubt.
Nice.
A play off of that. So a lot going on with that, but I thought it fit a lot of different things for my personality and being a WVU fan.
Nice.
Well, this will play right into your questioning yourself all the time because you're going to be the first guest that we've ever had on a Bluff the Fluffs.
Uh-oh.
Are you?
No!
Yes. This will be awesome. So.
No, I heard Bluff the Fluff and
it was a train wreck.
So
there was more wrong answers than right answers. I don't like this.
There are definitely more wrong answers than right answers.
Do you know how this works though, Josh? You're going to be an honorary fluff this week.
Yes, you get to be an honorary fluff this week along with Johnson and Scoot. And for folks, if you haven't heard, we have done this for years on our old podcast, but we're bringing it back here to Got Your Eers On. Really simple. All we do is we ask a question. We do a little round robin here where everybody gets a question. We ask a question. If you get it right, you get some clappy clap hands like that. And if you get it wrong, you get the old buzzer. You get the old buzzer.
Our studio audience consists of roughly 3 people.
Yes, it is. Can't you tell by those claps?
Yes. Operation.
They're emphatic though when you get it right.
So a little twist, because we have 3 people playing this week. To steal, you have to buzz in this week. So usually we save the buzzing for the last one, but this week, to steal a question, the 2 people that don't get the question have to buzz in. So let's let's just hear what our buzzers might be this week. Johnson, I'll let you go first. What buzzer you got this week?
Meet.
Meet the old school buzzer. The old school.
That's always the
buzzers.
buzzer.
Scoot, what do you got for You got the foghorn. We're bringing the foghorn back for the buzzer. Josh, what would you like to use for a buzzer sound for yourself?
Bing bong.
I like it.
I like the bing bong.
I'm worried that mine's
bing
going to be
bong.
tough to get out in a rush.
Yeah. Hey, well, look, that's
Yeah,
what
right.
you chose. so.
Well, I do it. Listen, in all fairness, I do it by whoever makes the sound the first. You know, so even if your sound is long and slow, Scoot, we'll still pick you. We'll still make sure you get in there. All right. And a right question gets you 5 points. A steal gets you 10 points. So, all right. So obviously Josh is our guest this week, guys. So I feel like he should be allowed to go first.
What an honor.
Yes.
What an honor.
It'll be awesome. And then getting to go second, we used a random flip of the coin to see who gets to go second. And Johnson, congratulations.
Sweet.
Second.
Every
So Scoot,
time.
you're third.
Every time I get screwed. It's just constant.
It was random.
Yeah.
It was random.
Totally
Completely
random.
Coin. It's a two-headed coin.
Josh saw me flip the coin.
It had a swordfish on one side and it had turkey on the other, and it came up turkey. What do you want me to say?
It came up turkey. It came up turkey every time. Every time. All right, Josh. First question is to you. So this is an easy one, not hard. All right. These are, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys. This week, all multiple choice questions.
Okay.
All right.
Now, do we
I
get any
thought-
inkling before you just start harassing Josh with the first question of what the
Like, what's the
topic or the
topic?
subject is?
Yeah, what
Oh.
are we going? Is this potpourri? What are we talking about?
You want details? So this week's topic.
You usually give us the topic.
Yeah, I should give you the topic. That's probably fair. This week's topic is all about everybody's favorite head coach of West Virginia University basketball, Bob Huggy Bear Huggins.
Okay.
There are all going to be questions about Huggy Bear.
Easy.
All right. Scoot feels like he's got this, Josh. He knows a lot about Huggy Bear.
I am excited for Scoot, and I wish him the best.
All right. Question 1 goes to you, Josh. What was the first college that Bob Huggins was head coach at? Was it Glenville State, Walsh College, Akron, or Youngstown State?
Oh, that's I believe that's Walsh.
That's correct.
Nice.
Walsh
Hey!
is the correct answer.
Josh is a
Yes.
he's a Bluff the Fluffs natural already.
It's like a D2 school, I think, out in Ohio somewhere, out near Canton, Ohio. It's a Catholic school.
What's their mascot?
I have no idea. What do you think their mascot is? The Bishops?
Oh, I like
I'm
this.
gonna
Hold on. I like
say,
this. Hold on. Let me look it up and we'll see how wrong you are. Hold on. Let me find it.
It's the one. It's Walsh College, Ohio, too. There's another one in Troy, Michigan, but this is the Ohio one. What do you think, Josh? What is the Walsh Roman Catholic school? What do you think their? This is for no points. What do you think their mascot is?
Well, I am very confident that it's the Walsh Pirates.
Ooh, that's a good guess. That's a good guess.
And by confident, I'm not confident. I just that's a good mascot, though,
good
right?
guess.
Pirates.
What do you think, Scoot?
I think it's a play on a little alliteration. It's the Warriors,
Okay.
the Walsh Warriors.
Johnson, have you found it yet? I found it.
The two Walshes threw me off here, so I think I hit
You want to try to guess, Johnson? I'll give you a guess. You want to go ahead and guess? I got
He's
it.
cheating right now.
It is not the Bishops, like I said.
Oh, so you've already got it.
I found it.
I'm gonna go something like the, Ohio's what, the Bobcats, Cincinnati's the Bearcats. I'm gonna go with like the Mountain Lions.
That's incorrect. It's the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers.
Oh,
I mean, would that be a warrior?
It's still not a warrior, though.
It's kind of like one.
I don't think of a Cavalier as a warrior.
A Cavalier is basically a land pirate. Am I right? I feel like I'm a dog with a bone on that one. I think that's right.
I think that is correct. It's got,
Yes,
I think it's a land
2 for
pirate.
2.
All right,
Land
so
Pirates. That's awesome.
none of that was for any points, but it was fun nevertheless. Josh takes the lead with 5 points. Johnson, the next question is to you.
Okay.
Shortly after graduating from WVU in 1977, Bob Huggins got a tryout with which NBA team? Was it the New York Knicks, the Washington Bullets, the Buffalo Braves, or the Philadelphia 76ers?
Oh gosh, I really don't know. So this will totally be a guess. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 76ers.
Ah, 2 correct answers.
Wow!
Back
All right.
to back. It was the 76ers. He got a tryout and then did not make it and ended up returning to WVU as a grad assistant next year. So
Sweet.
Congratulations. And Scoot, we're on to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
While at Cincinnati, Huggins took the Bearcats to the NCAA tournament 14 consecutive years. How many of those times, of those 14, how many of those times was he in the Sweet 16 or better? Was it 2, 10, 6, or 4? 2, 10, 6, or 4?
Sweet 16 or better. 10 is way too many times. I am going to go with 6 times Sweet 16 or better.
All right, guys.
Bing bong.
There it is. Josh in for the
Josh,
steal.
Quick.
He's quick. All right, Josh, for the steal and 10 points. What's your guess?
Well, I agree with Scoot. 10 seems strong. I'm going to go with 4.
That is correct.
Oh, man.
4 times. 4 times he took them to the Sweet 16 and better, including one Final Four appearance.
That's a 10-point steal, Guido.
That's a 10-point steal to give Josh a 15 points.
I am getting screwed here.
Johnson, you have 5. Hey, Scoot, you're sitting on a goose egg.
Of course, the third question is super hard. Why is that one so hard?
That's not that hard. He got it right. Josh got it right. I just don't think you're you're a Huggins fan. That's what I think it is, Scoot.
I mean, we're led to believe that right now, I feel like.
Well, I did say in one of our podcasts that I would not tandem jump off the bridge there in Golly Bridge,
That is true.
which I think would be a big mistake.
The Golly Bridge? Is that what you're calling it?
Is that
now?
what
the
it
Golly
is?
Bridge?
Golly River Bridge?
No, it's the New River Gorge Bridge.
Whatever, the Gorge River Golly Bridge.
As you can tell,
The Gorge, you should move
we
on.
talk about this again, Josh. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Scoot is from the Frying Pan Hat of New York, also known as Connecticut.
Yes, Connecticut. Yes.
People don't jump off of bridges there, right, Scoot? Is that what you're telling us?
Not
Is that what you're trying to say?
With a parachute, no.
Not with a parachute. All right, so that was a steal for 10 points, and we're on to you, Johnson. Is that correct? No, we're back to you, Josh. This is your question. You could take a commanding lead here. This goes to you. All right. Infamously, Huggins' number 2 ranked Bearcats were upset by a number 10 ranked WVU in the 1998 NCAA tournament. But in the next round, WVU lost to a team that went on to play in the Final Four that year. Which team was it? Was it Kentucky, University of North Carolina, Utah, or Kansas?
I remember this. Not a fan, and I don't need to take a shot at Gail Catlett, but not a fan of Gail Catlett. But they went on to the next round and lost to the Utah Utes with Andre Miller and those guys.
That's right.
That's correct.
Was
That's
Michael
correct.
Doliak on that team as well?
There was some Doliak involved
Yeah.
with that as well. Yes.
Doliak had a real bad cut.
Wow, Josh takes a commanding lead.
He had a bad haircut.
I got to tell you something, folks. If you haven't listened, if you want to know about WVU basketball, you got to listen to Unreasonable Doubt, because he definitely knows more than Scoot about WVU basketball.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. Just because I've got 2 questions in this game does not mean I know a lot about WVU basketball.
You're commanding lead.
Thank you,
commanding.
but thank you that people listen, but don't expect knowledge and stuff. If you've listened, you would know that. I mean, I'm just kidding. All right, sorry.
Johnson, on to you.
All right.
So right now, Josh has got 20 points. You have 5 points, Johnson, and Scoot, you got 0. All right. Huggins' 2010 team finished 6th for WVU, finished 6th in the final AP poll that year. All right. That was not the best AP poll finish that he'd ever had. That was by the 2001-2002 Cincinnati team. What did that team finish in the AP poll? And I can give you multiple choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. There you go. Like, it's kind of easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
5 part multiple choice.
Yeah.
It's a 5-part mall. You get the extra mall. I'll tell you what. I'll take one part out of it. It was not number one. They did not finish first.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for taking the one off the board. I already knew.
I'll take one. So now you have 2, 3, 4, or 5. That makes it fair.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Man, that's a brain fog trying to remember those Bearcat teams. I feel like I don't think they played for the championship, so I'm gonna go 3. Ugh.
All right, Scoot or Josh. All right, Scoot, you're in. It's not 3, so it's 2, 4, or 5.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I got nothing to lose. I got no points. What can I mean, I'm going to say it was a 2. It was the 2 spot.
It was not 2. Josh, you do get a chance to steal it here.
Bing bong. All right, I'm in. So I would 50% chance here. I'm going to go number 4.
Oh, it was actually 5th. They finished
Thank
5th
God
that
he does
year.
not get
Nobody
to
gets any. Nobody gets any points.
But the last question was like 100 points, right? I've heard the game before.
Listen.
It's like the.
It doesn't really matter. You just get the last question right. You can win.
Well, what will happen is you guys will get
what do you
questions
think? We're creative,
to the point where I'll get the right answer at the last one, but I still will not have enough to beat you guys. Because that's what Guido does to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this next
All right,
question's
Scoot.
you, right?
This next question is to you, Scoot. So you can pull it back in a little bit right here. All right. Next question is to you, Scoot. Huggins played 3 years at WVU. Where did he transfer from to come to WVU? Where did he play his freshman year? Was it Cincinnati, Akron, Ohio State, Ohio University? Which of those colleges did he transfer from?
Well, all 4 you've listed are in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
It was not Cincinnati.
He played his high school basketball in Ohio too, didn't he?
Some of it, I believe. I don't think he was there the whole time. I am going to go with the Ohio State University.
That's incorrect. It was not Ohio State. Anybody got a steal? Johnson, Josh.
Meep, meep.
All right, Johnson, what do you got?
So what were my Akron and Ohio were the other 2, right?
You've got, Ohio, Akron, and Cincinnati.
I'm going to go with the Bobcats.
That's correct. Wait, which Bobcats? No. Oh, that's Bearcats. Never mind. I still haven't figured out what a Bearcat is anyway. Yes, Ohio University is the correct answer. The Ohio.
I mean, is there such a thing as a Bearcat?
I think so, yeah.
It's a cat that looks like a bear?
I mean, it's a...
Does it eat like a bear, maybe?
I mean, that would be... Is it as large as a bear? That would be exceptional.
Is it like a giant bear-sized cat?
I've never seen one.
And, I mean, you know who would know if there was one? Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic would know if there was a Bearcat.
And
he would know about
cat
the
bear doesn't really have a ring to it, so I think you go Bearcat in that case.
Bearcat.
I've heard of a cat bird. Right, so why not a cat bear?
True. Yes. Okay.
I mean, I've heard, man, that guy's a real cat bird. Which
Who
I
says
really don't
that?
know what that means, but what is a cat bird?
Scoot now regrets bringing
All
up
right.
Catbird, I feel like. So that gave me 10, right? I'm up to 15.
That's another 10 points. So you're up to 15 points, Johnson.
I tied Josh,
and,
right?
Josh,
Or am I still trailing?
No, Josh has 20.
Oh, man.
Josh is ahead of you. Yeah, because Josh answers questions
Johnson,
right.
are you trying to get away from catbird talk? What is happening? I want to stew in catbird discussion.
Because he doesn't know what the cat
But
bird
we can
is.
do the game. It's your show. I'm being a bad guest.
That's true. I don't.
Johnson's being a real catbird. Am I right, Scoot?
I agree. I don't know what it is. It's like a bad guy. If you're a cat bird, I mean,
I don't know either. You're the one who brought it up.
I don't know either. And if Joe Exotic,
Shouldn't you know?
it would be.
Joe Exotic
I mean,
did not deal with catbirds.
he certainly isn't a bird
No.
cat.
I feel like you're playing loose with these terms, Scoot. You bring it up, you got to be able to back it with some kind of definition.
I've heard my mother-in-law say that guy's a cat bird, or that person's being a cat bird. I don't know what she's saying.
I feel like now you've put her out there. Like if we figure out it's a really bad thing, we're going to think ill of your mother-in-law or
I
something.
mean, I'll Google it. I don't know that.
Oddly enough, no. Don't worry. I've already beat you to it. A catbird is a type of mockingbird that actually sounds like a cat when it tweets.
Oh, okay. All right.
It sounds more like a meow than a tweet.
Then how is a person being called a cat bird a thing?
I don't know.
Why would I say that you're a cat bird? That sounds ridiculous. I would never say that to somebody. Man, you're a guy that sounds like a bird that meows like a cat. That's ridiculous.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
When I think about it, me leaning us back into this catbird discussion, I have regrets.
This is what happens to us every week. Don't worry, Josh. We would have gotten there anyway. All right, boys. So it's time to go. It's time to go on to the final bluff. It's time to jump from the questions and go to the final bluff where you can win 25 points. So any of you can win this match by getting this question. Scoot, 25 points would win. You would win. Right now, Josh has 20. Johnson, you have 15. And Scoot, you have 0.
Of course.
Just in case you needed to remember that.
It's anyone's game.
So we just need to remind everybody what what your buzzers sound like. So Johnson, what's your buzzer?
Meep, meep.
And Foghorn Leghorn, what's your buzzer? I say, that's my buzzer.
Well, that would have been a good buzzer. I'll say.
And Josh, what do you got for a buzzer?
Catbird.
He switches up. He switches the buzzer up for this final bluff here, guys. So final bluff. Get your buzzers ready. Hands on your buzzers. Since being at WVU, Huggins has had 2 consensus All-Americans. Name them.
Catbird.
All right. Josh, can you name the 2 consensus All-Americans?
Is it Deshaun Butler and Javon Carter?
That's incorrect.
Oh!
That is not.
No!
That is
The
not
door is
correct.
open.
Meep, meep, meep.
The doors. Johnson for 25 points and the win.
I'm gonna go Deshaun Butler and Joe Alexander.
Buzz wrong. Wrong. Scoot. Now listen, Scoot. You can do this. I have faith in you.
Okay.
You can. This would be an all-time Scoot comeback to get the final bluff to win. Come on, you can do this.
Okay, so Javon Carter is definitely one. Okay. He is one of them. I have 2 options for my other one.
You like my guess? You like my guess?
Maybe a third. Maybe a third. I am gonna say one Kevin Jones.
Wow! Look at this guy.
25
Look
points.
at this guy pulling it out at the end.
Kevin Jones, 25 points. Scoot wins Bluff the Fluffs about Bob Huggins. Kevin Jones, 2012. Javon Carter, 2018 were the 2 consensus All-Americans that Huggins had since he's been at WVU. Great job, Scoot.
Nice.
I'm proud
Nice
of you.
job.
I think that Kevin Jones year, I was mad about it.
Well, we all
Because
were. Yeah, we all were.
Kevin Jones was not chosen as the Big East Player of the Year. It went to
Right.
Jay Crowder of Marquette,
Yeah, ridiculous. Super ridiculous.
who has a ridiculous hairstyle and somehow has had a NBA career, which is beyond me. Yet Kevin Jones struggled to even get a sniff in the NBA.
Yeah, makes no sense.
And had to bounce around from the G League to overseas, and it still irritates me. He's got an unconventional shot. He shoots from the top of his forehead. He puts the ball up on top of his forehead and shoots it, which is not a great-looking shot. But it went in consistently for a big man, and I'm a little bitter about that. So that's why I went with KJ, who I also saw at the Philadelphia airport.
That's amazing. You saw him
Wow.
at an
Alright.
airport?
Yes, he was in the same gate as me.
Okay. That's
Alright.
that's okay.
solid.
That's good.
Solid.
That's awesome, Scoot.
Josh, if you guys, you got to get on there and listen to Josh's show if you haven't already. Unreasonable Doubt. Josh, you're dealing with not having the NCAA tournament, not seeing this team kind of finish out the season. Are you okay with it? How you feeling?
No.
about it? No.
No, I'm not okay. Are you okay with it?
No, I'm not okay with it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, I'm okay with it in the sense of like we didn't have to see any more failure of a team that shouldn't be failing, I think. So now we can just keep our hopes for next year, if there is a next year, of how good this team should be. But that's now kind of in flux. What do you think about Oscar? Is Oscar coming back? Is this it? Does he go NBA?
Well, Huggins he was on the Zoom technology today telling people that he feels confident that he's going to come back. But, if you're putting your name in and it only takes one team to draft you or tell you that you should stay in, my unreasonable doubt says that there's a chance that he's going to leave us, but Huggins is confident. So let's see what Huggins, if he's right or not. I would hope he is.
If he were Sags, you would listen to one of your 8 brothers that tells you should go.
Yeah, right.
And remember, Sags got the evaluation his sophomore year, went to the combine, came back, came to his junior year.
They told him shoot nothing but 3-pointers.
They told him to shoot more threes.
That'll get you
right.
into the NBA.
They did not tell him to get injured, but he got injured, didn't play much, undrafted in the G League this year, cut short. So I don't know. It's up to Oscar, and we don't know. We don't know. Do you know Oscar? I don't know. I don't know Oscar. So whatever he wants to do.
You feeling good about the team for next year, though? You think this is a team that can compete?
Well, I think that here's the concern I have. Let me go glass half empty. Is that the idea that all the guys that played this year and played a number of games the previous season will be back this year, and the talent that's coming in, that's going to give a good impression. And I think in the bracketology on ESPN, they're like a 4 seed. So the public thinks they're going to be really good. My concern is the guys that played decent in those last 10 games 2 seasons ago, they didn't improve that much this year. It was kind of like flat or even decreased in production. And then Brandon Knapper left. So you want to have a jump, the jump that we possibly predicted last season for the guys that had a good run at the end of the year. The jump didn't happen. So will it happen this year? If it does, then they have a really good chance to be great. And if it's flat again, then I don't know. But it helps if Oscar comes back and a junior Derek Culver and another year from the JUCO guys of Shot Robot and Taz. I feel like that can be a really good team. We got to have the improvement we didn't see this season.
Scoot wants more McCabe.
If he can just do the simple things,
like dribble the basketball between his legs,
he can do that.
And then throw the behind the back shot.
Some of that I can do.
You like the razzmatazz, Scoot.
When it's on, it's awesome. When it's on, it's unbelievable.
Johnson does not like the razzmatazz.
No, Johnson, it's like everything Johnson is. He is the Walter Matthau of this operation.
Scoot, I want solid
Back
basketball.
in my day, we just passed the basketball from point A to point B. We didn't put in a point C, D, and an E. He's very
7 passes and then a shot.
I do complain about bounce passes.
In my
I
day,
do complain about wanting bounce passes.
we put the
Is
ball
that so
through the
bad?
peach basket and we liked it.
Well, listen, Josh, thanks so much for joining us. It's been fun. And folks, listen to Josh's show this week. We're on that as well. And it got goofy too. So we appreciate you listening. Johnson, Scoot, we'll see you guys next week. We'll be back to do a show, possibly. You might get a best of. I don't know. Who knows what's happening right now? You know? Do we know?
knows?
We don't know.
Who knows? Keep you on your toes.
Who knows?
Just listen
it
and
changes
find
every
out.
week. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, check us out online at Got Your Eers On. You can also, or at Got Your Ears. You can also check us out on the Facebook, and you can check out our website, gotyourearson.com. We appreciate you listening. Don't forget to listen to Unreasonable Doubt this week. We'll be back again. You've been listening to Got Your Eers On.